Newsflash 1. U.S. President Donald Trump said he is seeking accurate figures on reported killings during Iran's crackdown on protests and stressed that the United States would act accordingly, without specifying what form that action might take. He said the situation in Iran is constantly on his mind and publicly urged Iranians to continue protesting, saying outside help is on the way. He also called on U.S. citizens still in Iran to leave the country as soon as possible. Newsflash 2. Thousands of motorcyclists and transport union members staged a convoy protest in Venezuela's capital, honking horns and waving signs along major highways, demanding that the United States release President Nicolas Maduro. Transport union representatives said the entire multimodal transport sector is united in calling for the return of Maduro and his wife. Newsflash 3. French farmers staged protests for a second consecutive week, dumping large quantities of potatoes on a bridge in Paris on January 13 to oppose the EU-Mercosur trade deal, which they say would create unfair competition. Multiple tractor convoys entered Paris, gathering at the Arc de Triomphe and outside the French National Assembly. Newsflash 4. Bill and Hillary Clinton refused to testify in a Republican-led congressional investigation into the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, calling the probe partisan. In a letter to the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, they said they had already provided the limited information they possessed and questioned why the committee was not focused on whether the government properly investigated and prosecuted Epstein's crimes. Newsflash 5. Kim Yo-jong, the sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, said South Korea's hope of improving inter-Korean relations is an illusion that cannot be realized, according to state media. She criticized Seoul's optimism about resuming dialogue, accused South Korea of violating North Korea's sovereignty through a drone incident, and demanded an apology and assurances that such incidents would not recur. Newsflash 6. Greenlandic and Danish foreign ministers are set to meet U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Washington. Greenland's Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nielsen reiterated that if forced to choose between the United States and Denmark, Greenland would choose Denmark and remain united within the Kingdom of Denmark. The island's political mood has shifted toward long-term cautious independence, while residents voice concern over excessive U.S. interference. Newsflash 7. On the second day of the Japan-South Korea summit, South Korean President Lee Jae-myung and Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi visited Horyuji Temple in Nara Prefecture. The two leaders said their talks focused on industrial supply chains, artificial intelligence, denuclearization of the Korean peninsula, and cooperation with their shared ally, the United States. The meeting came just 1 week after Lee met Chinese President Xi Jinping.